We're here at day 2 of the 2014 NCAC Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving Championships from the campus of Denison University. I'm Russell Kramer of the North Coast Athletic Conference. We kicked off Thursday night finals after an exciting morning of prelims in front of a packed house of the Trumbull Aquatic Center. The first event tonight was the 200 free relay. On the men's side, Denison touched the wall first in a time of 1:21.19, while Kenyon finished second, touching the wall in a time of 1:21.35, and the DePaul Tigers took home third in a time of 1:22.78. On the women's side, it was also the Big Red who took home first. The Big Red finished first in a time of 1:32.93, while Kenyon placed second in a time of 1:33.06, and once again it was DePaul in third in a time of 1:36.30. The first individual champion was crowned tonight in event number 4, the men's 500 freestyle. Kenyon freshman Alex Seaver led a trio of Lord's finishers, taking the top 3 spots in the event. The Eugene, Oregon native set an NCAA B-cut time of 4:28.91. I had a chance to catch up with Alex and talked about his performance.
You know, I just went in there. I was talking with my coach before, and our goal was just to go out there and swim it, just do the best that we could, and it turned out really well.
The first individual swimming event of the 2014 championships, Kenyon goes 1-2-3 in the men's 500 free. Just talk about the importance of getting off to a good start, going 1-2-3, what it's like to have 2 other teammates at the top with you, and then also not only to score well in this event, but also to have those guys to train with throughout the season.
I think it was a great start to the meet. Those guys are great. I think our distance program has been just absolutely fantastic this year, and I've been training with those guys all year long, and having them with me, seeing them, 2 and 3 right behind me, just kept motivating me throughout that race.
And finally, Alex, a long race, when you hear that bell lap and you know you're on that final 50, what's that like for you mentally, and does it give you that extra boost to sort of kick it in that last 50, and once you touch the wall and look up and see your name number 1, obviously an incredible feeling, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's incredible. Coming to that last wall, and I just know that I've set myself up well for that last 50, just put my head down and go.
In the women's 500 free, another freshman took home first place honors. DePaul Tiger Angela Newland set a new NCAC meet record time, a time of 4:50.91. Nula, an Eufaula, Illinois native, swimming in her first conference meet, talked about her NCAA B cut.
Yes, this event set me up really well for the rest of the weekend too, which I'm excited about. And this morning I had a good swim that I was really happy with overall, but my coach told me there are things I could work on, so I overall just fixed those things, especially with my turns. And so I just went out there and raced all the other competitors, and so I was so happy when I got that conference record. It was something I never thought I was able to do, and so seeing that just really, sparked something in me.
Well, Angela, you talk about your performance this morning in prelims. You qualified, one of the top qualifiers, and then you dropped time. As you mentioned, your coach said that he saw something in you, and it came true. Obviously, you dropped almost 3 seconds from your prelim time to this evening, a new meet record. Talk about what that meet record means to you, and really how important it was to drop that time.
It means a lot to me. Coming into DePaul, I just never thought I was capable of placing so high a conference, and let alone getting a meet record. And so getting in that meet record, it just means that all my hard work has finally paid off, and all those sacrifices, they're finally worth it.
Well, you mentioned coming into DePaul in your freshman season here. This is your first ever conference championship meet. Just talk about what the atmosphere has been like. Finals are always very exciting, a loud crowd. What's the atmosphere been like for you in your first conference meet?
Well, it was overwhelming at first. You can ask anyone. I was so nervous, and I was really scared just coming in as a freshman, going against these really strong teams, and then especially upperclassmen too. But once I got there, it's just my team. They pumped me up, and then the atmosphere, when it gets so exciting like that, it just pumps you up more and motivates me more for my race.
And finally, the 500 free, a long race. When you hear that bell lap, what's going through your mind? Obviously, you're on that last 50. I would imagine that hearing that bell gives you that little extra burst to really close out strong.
Yes, I was really excited to hear it because it's such a painful race. I was I'm almost done, and then I noticed I was in the lead, so I was just keep swimming strong and try to take first.
Event number 6, the men's 200 IM, saw another new meet record this evening as senior Carlos Maciel of the Denison University Big Red swam this morning's prelim in a time of 1:49.67. That was the new meet record set this morning. Maciel then came back in tonight's finals, taking first place in the conference championship in a time of 1:49.71. The Big Red went 1-2 in tonight's final. After the race, I had a chance to catch up with the Recife, Brazil native, and he talked about his performance.
Yeah, I think coming from this morning and having a top seed, I was just trying to do the same thing I did this morning, but try to go faster on the freestyle. I wasn't happy with my freestyle this morning, so I think that unconsciously and I was a little bit more tired coming tonight too because I did the 200 free relay, and so I was a little bit behind Jackson on the breaststroke, and I just saw him and I was like, I know he's leading the field. I know he's the first place. I need to catch to him, because the closer I am to him, the farther away I'm from the other competitors. So that was my thinking, and I ended up beating him, but I was really happy for him as well. It was really close.
Well, Carlos, you mentioned this morning in prelims you set a new NCAC meet record, 1:49.67. Just talk about what the honor means and the hard work you put in to set a new meet record and have your name in the record books.
Yeah, I'm really happy because that was also a personal best for me. It was a meet record that I had set last year as well. And I wasn't really expecting to go that far. Some of us in the team, we didn't really focus this meet. So me and Jackson, for example, we didn't fully rest or anything. And so I'm really happy to be personal best, and it just gets me really, really pumped for nationals.
And finally, Carlos, obviously in the IM, 4 strokes needed to compete breast, back, fly, and free. Talk about what you're most comfortable in that stroke, and then also moving forward, how you take this positive note from tonight and continue to try and build on momentum moving forward to the rest of the meet.
Yeah, so I also swim the freestyle races, so my freestyle is usually very solid, but I think the difference that I make is the breaststroke. I used to be a very good breaststroke when I was younger, and for me, the best feeling on a 2 IM or any IM race for that matter is just catch up to the field in the breaststroke, because my backstroke is subpar, but I just love just stroke by stroke catch the guy beside me.
In the women's 200 IM, senior Natalie Lugg of the Denison University Big Red also set a new meet record time. Lugg, who broke her teammate's previous record, Michelle Howell, tonight in a time of 2:03.06. Her teammate Howell finished in second place. I had a chance to catch up with Lugg after her race, and she talked about her performance.
Tonight, I just kind of went into it with no expectations. I told myself that I was going to go 2:03 jokingly, wasn't expecting it at all, so just kind of tried to swim my own race, not look at anyone else.
Well, Natalie, a 2:03.06, a new meet record. Just talk about what that means for your name to go down in the record books, and as a senior to get a hold of that, it's obviously pretty special.
Yeah, it's always an honor actually to be anywhere in the record books, and breaking Michelle Howell's record, who's an amazing swimmer. That's huge. So I'm honored to be in the record books right now and to be able to actually swim that fast.
Well, you mentioned Michelle Howell, a teammate of yours who you broke the record. Having her to train with, finishing 1-2 tonight, how important is it to have a teammate like that to push you every day in practice? And then tonight, when it comes to a conference championship, to go 1-2, it must be very nice.
It's extremely important to have someone there to support you through practice and through hard, long meets like this. I mean, it's only the first day, and we still have a lot more races to finish. But it was awesome to have her right next to me the whole time. So.
Finals is always a really fun atmosphere at a conference championship. To be swimming here at home at the Trumbull Aquatic Center, your home fans, all your teammates, the crowd really picked everybody up tonight. Talk about the atmosphere and how special it was.
I think it's 10 times greater than when we were at Canton in the past 3 years, and it's just awesome to see so many students come down and support us and have them right behind the blocks, just screaming your name right when you get up there. So. It's great. The
fastest swim of the evening came tonight in the men's 50 free as sophomore Ryan Fleming of the Denison University Big Red touched the wall in a time of 20:45. The Big Red took 1 and 2 in the event. The Lincoln, Mass native had a chance to speak about his fast performance.
Yeah, it's really exciting for us, especially with Kenyon's main events being sprint events. At least they have been in the past. So for us to win the 50 and go 1-2 was really exciting. We had a lot of momentum coming off the 2 free relay. That win was huge for us. So we used that to carry through, and we've tried to carry that throughout the entire meet.
Ryan, the 50 free, obviously always a very fast race. Down and back, the start and turn, so critically important and can really make or break your 50 free race. Just talk about your start and that turn and how important they are for you.
Yeah, like you said, those are the 2 main things of the 50 that make or break the swim. And, I didn't do so well this morning. I wasn't too happy with that, but using the momentum off the 2 free relay, Conrad and I both stepped it up. So, I focused on just trying to get out farther on my start. I was a little deep this morning. And then, just got to hit the turn right, and I try not to think about it too much and just let the practice take over.
Well, Ryan, you talk about the momentum. Being here at home, at your home pool, a big crowd, the fans are getting into it, your fellow teammates are really into it. Talk a little about the momentum and really the atmosphere tonight, and is that something that you feed off of as well and a lot of energy?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've had a rough week around here, and the community has really stepped up to help support us. So, I mean, having all the parents and all the students come and support us for this, it's really like a confidence booster for our team. And we can really build off that, and everyone's been swimming really well, and it's really important to us that they're here.
And finally, Ryan, I know you said you didn't swim as well this morning as you had hoped to, but your expectations were high, obviously, in the final of the 50. So when you touch the wall and then you turn around and look up and you see your name at the top, knowing you've won a conference championship, what was that feeling like?
It was a great feeling, At first, I didn't see it. I just saw Conrad and his excitedness, and I mean, it was great to see that. And I mean, it's a big step from last year, so I'm glad to be.
In the women's 50 free, Kenyon College lady Jordan Klein earned first place honors, touching the wall in a time of 23:41, an NCAA B-cut time. After the race, I had a chance to catch up with the Charlotte, North Carolina native, and she talked about her conference championship performance.
It was really exciting. It was just going out there and racing. Wasn't really focused on the time. Had just won the relay a little bit earlier. It was 23:40, so always been very consistent in the 50 free. So it was really sort of gave me confidence going into it and just sort of went out there and raced.
Obviously, the 50 free, the fastest race we have here. Talk about the importance of not only the start, but that turn as well. How important that turn key in such a tight race when you touch the wall?
It's definitely important, especially coming from Kenyon. We don't practice going off of a bulkhead. So just the last day practicing going off of a bulkhead has been very important. Just warmed up tonight, freestyle the whole time, practicing on the turns.
And finally, Jordan, in a quick race like that, when you touch the wall and then you turn to look at the scoreboard and you see your name and you finish first, just talk about the emotions of being first place, winning a conference championship, and what that's like.
Well, actually, I couldn't see the board, so the Kenyon crowd was going crazy. My teammate, Jenner, was grabbing me like, great job! I'm like, what did I do? So, but it was really exciting to see first place up there for Kenyon.
After the 50 free wrapped up, a packed Trumbull Aquatic Center turned their attention to the diving well, where the women's 3-meter competition took place. Kenyon sophomore Malaya Zarka took home this year's conference championship. Zarka scoring 4:56.65. The Hawaiian native had a chance to speak about her performance after her dives.
Well, a couple of dives went really well. A couple were not as well, but I think I'm in a very good place. I have a lot of room to improve, so I'm happy where I'm at.
You dove very well in prelims this morning. You come in as the top seed. Just talk about how you're able to continue that momentum from a strong prelims into the finals tonight. Did you feel any pressure being the top seed with those final 6 dives in the finals this evening?
Well, of course you feel the pressure, but I mean, once you remember that you love the sport and you love the people that you're around, it all becomes very easy to just have fun and to perform at your best that you can at that time.
And finally, obviously, a lot to celebrate this evening, but your meet obviously not done with the women's 1 meter. Just talk about how you continue to try and build off momentum and what your expectations are heading into the 1 meter in a few days.
I just want to do better than I did this time last year on 1 meter. I don't really have any other goals place-wise to continue that momentum that I have. Just same thing, have a lot of fun, talk with everyone, make friends, stuff like that.
Thursday night finals wrapped up as Kenyon took home the men's 400 medley relay. The Lords set a new meet record time this evening, touching the wall in 3:16.43. Denison finished second, while the Little Giants of Wabash took home third. The women's race was also won by the ladies as Kenyon touched the wall in first place in a time of 3:44.88. Denison again finished second in a time of 3:47.42, and DePaul placed third with a time of 3:54.37. The 400 medley relay wrapped up the events on an exciting day 2 of competition from the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the scores. First on the men's side after day 2 events. Denison sits in first place with 670 points. Kenyon in second with 561. DePaul in third, 313.5. Wabash in fourth at 240. Oberlin with 214 sits in fifth. Wittenberg in sixth with 196. Ohio Wesleyan 177.5 is good enough for seventh. Allegheny in eighth with 157. Worcester, 81, sits in 9th, and Hiram in 10th with 44 points. On the women's side, Kenyon is in first place with 575 points. Denison in second, 535. DePaul in third, 327. Worcester sits in fourth at 228. Oberlin with 222 points is in fifth. Wittenberg at 220 in sixth. Allegheny at 207th. Ohio Wesleyan in eighth at 153. And Hiram comes in ninth with 58 points. That will wrap up Day 2 coverage of the NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships from the Trumbull Aquatic Center. Again, I am Russell Kramer of the North Coast Athletic Conference. Be sure to come back tomorrow for Day 3 action. Prelims get started at 10 o'clock in the morning, with finals again getting underway at 6:30 in the evening. Be sure to check us out at www.northcoast.org, as well as follow us on Twitter at NCAC for all the latest news of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships.